Hey guys, Catherine here from Gastric Sleeve Diaries. I am coming up towards my 10-month surgiversary. I can't quite remember what week I'm in, but next week is going to be my 10-month check-in. So I think last time I got on here, I shared with you guys that I'd reached a pretty big milestone, which was 100 pounds lost. So I'm still sitting right around there. So 5'10", started at 290. I am going right now between like 188 and 193. I have been gaining a lot of muscle, so I've seen the pant size go down, but the weight kind of, fluctuating a little bit and staying right around the 190 mark. So again, trying not to freak out about that too much. I think there's a period for my body right now where, my measurements are still changing, but my muscle tone is increasing and I'm not really losing a ton of weight. So today, I had my much belated 6-month check-in with my surgeon. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. It was kind of funny. She, when she called my name from the waiting room, she kind of gave me this weird look, and I was like, she was like, "Oh my God, I would not have recognized you at all. I just wouldn't have known that was you." And her secretary said the same thing. So that was kind of funny because I don't really feel I look that different, but I've definitely had like acquaintances like at a wedding totally blank me and not know who I was. So I guess I do look different, but I don't really see it that much. So a few interesting things that I thought came out of it. All my blood work was good. Vitamin D slightly low, but not enough to be concerned about. So that was one thing. She crazily enough I said this on Facebook today, but she was like, you've exceeded my expectations. Your BMI is lower than, we would have hoped for, and you've lost more weight than we would have hoped for. So you look great. I think you would be I don't think you need to lose any more weight. I think you're great where you are. And I'm like totally not okay with that. It was really nice to hear that she thinks I look healthy and I seem healthy, and that's nice, but I'm definitely not done here. I was at this weight or around it when I was 16, and I felt really fat, and I still feel fat, and I just don't want to feel that way. So I told her I wanted to lose 30 more pounds. I want to get down to around 165, and she thought that I would look ill at that weight. And funnily enough, my dad has actually told me, you don't need to lose any more weight. You look great as you are, which is weird because he was the one who's always pushing me to lose weight and wanted me to be thin. So I'm surprised. I thought he'd be the one person who wanted me to be stick thin. But, I've seen that people get legitimately skinny doing this. I see all of you guys on Facebook and YouTube. So I am going to take her advice with a grain of salt and her recommendation, because especially on my thighs and my legs, I still have a ton of fat on there. So I think minimum 20 pounds I still have to go. So she also told me, which I thought was interesting, she said I told her about my stall, and that for the last kind of 2 or so months, you guys have seen that really since Thanksgiving, so really 3 months, it's been pretty stalled and not much happening. And she said that with the sleeve, that's really, really common. She said, if you came here and told me that and you'd had the bypass, I'd say, you're done losing. If you've stopped for this long, you've pretty much plateaued and you're done. But she said because with the sleeve that you can stall for 4 months and then still lose 20 more pounds. So she said, I wouldn't be surprised to see you losing more. The stall doesn't really mean anything. And she also said that the regain happens less. So that was interesting to hear. And what else did she say? I told her I was counting calories, and she got kind of annoyed and told me not to, that they really want me to be doing the mindful eating and not getting into that yo-yo diet mentality again. So I guess I'm going to stop doing that for now. And also, she signed me up for the lifestyle courses that MGH offers. So I think it's a really good time for me to go back and do that. now that, I'm kind of reaching this. I feel like now I'm kind of starting phase 2 of my journey. So phase 1 was really getting a lot of the weight off, getting, the food portion of it down, and now I'm at a low enough weight that I feel like I can start this phase 2 of the journey, which is really a lot about exercise and kind of honing what I've done, and if that makes any sense at all. I just feel like there's a different part of my journey that's kind of about to start with this, getting this last 30 pounds off. So I'm going to do those lifestyle courses for 4 weeks. Then the second Monday of every month, there's a maintenance group that meets, and she said that's usually people who are a year plus out, but since she sees me as I could maintain this weight and she'd be happy, that she thinks it's okay for me to go ahead and do those courses. So I'm really happy that I'm going to have like another support group and some reinforcement with nutrition and that sort of thing. I had no hernia, nothing really of note. But yeah, just crazy that she thinks that, my body's good here, it likes this weight, but I'm definitely not done yet. So a couple of NSVs. I've been downhill skiing for the last few weeks and over the weekends, and that has been super fun. I skied all growing up, and then, as I got older, it was like not cool anymore, and I didn't want to hang out with my family, so hadn't skied in like 15 years, but when I was a kid, I skied constantly. So getting back on the slopes, not something I ever would have done, the last 2 or 3 years when I was heavy. But I've been having a freaking blast. It's so much fun. And my dad and I went out, and we always skied when I was a kid together, and he was so proud of me, and like he tricked me into going down a Black Diamond like 4 times, which was kind of mean, and I nearly like slid off a cliff. But and he, like, at the end of the day, I wasn't expecting it at all. He like took me out and bought me new ski equipment because he was like, I'm proud of you, and this is your reward for losing all that weight. So that was cool, and just feeling so much happier, so much more active. And I also started doing CrossFit. I think I told you guys on Facebook about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I've been doing twice a week the beginner classes, which are pretty hard, but I feel like I'm definitely becoming kind of a muscly badass, which is super fun. I even have my first bruise. We were doing some barbell things, and I think I just came down a little hard on my chest. I've got another bruise kind of right here. So really enjoying that, but it was funny the other day. So there's a different workout of the day, and when it's cold out, if they have kind of one of the aerobic portions they'll do is on the rowing machines, which I'm fine with, but they were doing running instead in the warmer weather. And I got like 3, I like jogged with them because she was like, oh, we're running right now. And I like followed them for a second. I was like, I can't run, like I can't keep up with them. And I freaked out, and there were like 10 kind of bro-ish guys in the class. So I like ran back inside, and I got my coat on and zipped it up and was like, I'm leaving, I can't do this, like what am I doing here? Like feeling super intimidated. And then I saw someone who was actually on a rowing machine, and I was like, okay, maybe I can do that instead. So I like took my coat off, stopped panicking, went over and talked to one of the teachers. I was like, can I row instead? And he was like, definitely, like, that's totally fine. So now if they're running, I'm rowing for the equivalent time. So that's worked out well because I still have a lot of like anxiety about exercising in group settings and like running, and so it felt kind of like gym class again, or, high school sports practice, and I just got super anxious. So I was really proud of myself for sucking it up and just sticking it out. And then yesterday in class, we were doing like box jumps onto boxes, and I was like, I won't even be able to do one of these. And we did like during the 10 minutes, like I did like 6 rounds of it, which means like 60 box jumps, and I couldn't believe that I actually did that. So I'm really feeling a difference in my body, definitely feeling like stronger, more muscular. So yeah, now, increasing the exercise is great. I'm just trying not to kill myself about the weight, it's just all part of it, I think. But I am not okay at 190, 160, or at least 170. I really would like to get to. And I'm super excited to see you guys in Tampa. I've booked my plane ticket now, reserved the hotel. I think I'm getting there. I'm actually going to arrive the Thursday morning and leave Sunday afternoon. So I don't know if anyone's around on the Thursday, but I've booked the hotel for the Friday and Saturday, and I actually, because I last minute decided to come a little earlier, I need to book another hotel on the Thursday night. So if anyone needs a roomie, let me know. But yeah, hope you guys are all doing well. Love keeping up to date with you on Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, thanks for watching. I always appreciate your comments. And all right, that's it. Bye.